Guys, I'll be at the Melbourne Electric SUV show, which is next month. So would love to see you there. This could be a bit awkward too. And in fact, it probably will be, because I think there's going to be some Polestar vehicles, and maybe the CEO in Australia of Polestar will be there. And I don't think they like me very much after my recent video. Well, no, they don't. Now, if you're interested, guys, I'll put a link in the description below to the show in Melbourne. And I'm going to catch up with a couple of people, possibly for a beer and maybe a meal afterwards. If you'd like to join us, you are very welcome to do so. I had a furious response that I received today from Polestar's marketing department. They're saying that they were going to contact me, but now because I've said bad things about them, that they're not happy. They're very, very angry, it sounds like. And now I won't be able to drive their cars, which I wasn't able to anyway. Yeah. Guys, yeah. I won't share the email, but it's kind of funny. Now, that said, great news from Polestar. Polestar EVs deliveries up 80% in the second quarter of this year. Is it enough to save the brand? Well, here's what I think. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Sometimes I say things that car manufacturers really don't like, and they respond with some interesting emails, like the one I got today. Anyhow, what's going on here, guys? Well, Polestar have increased deliveries in the second quarter, which is good. I mean, we want them to sell more EVs. I do like Polestar cars. I've said that in many videos. Of course, those ones have been ignored by Polestar. Anyhow, guys, Polestar makes some great cars. And here's the thing. Fortunately for them, the parent company is, of course, Geely. Now, people sent me emails. They're like, oh, so-and-so owns this much and so-and-so owns that much. Guys, that's all a load of crap. I've got your emails. I've read them. You don't know what you're talking about. The truth is, it's all convoluted, and really, Polestar is owned by Geely. It doesn't matter what kind of story you want to sell me. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to report this stuff because it's baloney. Geely is the parent company. Geely is the best. Geely is the fastest growing car manufacturer worldwide this year. So yeah, I mean, Geely are not going to be too worried about this situation. But if these losses continue to be so significant, then that's going to be a big problem. Now, Polestar, as a result, have fired 15% of their staff. I'm sure they're going to look at cutting costs, marketing costs. Maybe they can do some more efficient marketing. It's a bit of a hint there, guys. Yeah. Anyhow, sales. What were their sales numbers? Well, 80% growth was still not a lot of cars. In the first quarter of this year, Polestar delivered 7,200 cars worldwide. Yeah, I mean, they delivered 13,000 in the second quarter. So they've delivered 20,000 cars worldwide for the first 6 months of this year. Really, it's not enough. Now, 80% growth is fantastic, but my response would be they need 1,000% growth from this 80%. And they could potentially do that. It is possible. I have some suggestions here, Polestar, seeing as you listened to my last video, maybe you'll listen to this. So you've grown by 80%. Like, as you guys know, I'm sure as a company you know that's nowhere near enough. My suggestions are based on viewer suggestions, actually. Suggestions that you've received. I'm sure you've been reading comments, many articles that I've read from journalists writing about Polestar's vehicles. And then people respond in the comments, and they're always saying the same thing. The option packs are ridiculous. They're expensive. They're confusing. Yeah, you got to make it more simple, right? People shouldn't have to pay for extras for a so-called luxury car. Now, I get that it is a luxury car, actually, and not a so-called. It definitely is a luxury car. Now, I get that other manufacturers do that. BMW does that. Mercedes-Benz does that. Audi, Porsche, particularly Porsche, really does that. But if you're going to go and say, well, look at Porsche, let's copy them. Well, have a look at Porsche's sales. What's happened to Porsche in the last few months, this year? Right? Porsche sales are down. Porsche sales are in free fall in China. Porsche is pretty quickly trying to pivot as a company. It knows it's in trouble. Porsche dealers in China are furious. Now, maybe following Porsche's lead on these luxury options packs and adding this and adding that. And honestly, I'm confused by it. I look at it all and I'm confused by it. And hey, maybe I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm not a moron. I'm not a retard. So if I'm confused by it, then the average customer will be confused by it. You can simplify that really, really easily. It's quite simple to simplify the way you're pricing your cars. That would be my suggestion. Now, the other thing is Polestar is a relatively new brand, and it is a new brand. I mean, even though you had the Polestar division before, that was just kind of like AMG, right? AMG are a new brand as well. I mean, realistically, AMG have only been around for, mate, what is it now? Maybe 6 or 7, 8 years as an actual brand. You guys are the same. So you're a new brand, and when you're a new brand, sometimes you can't price your cars too high. And I think that's what Polestar's doing. Now, I know that you guys manufacture your cars on the same production lines. I've seen Polestar vehicles coming off the same production lines as other Geely branded vehicles. So I'm not really convinced that the cost to manufacture would be that much higher than your competitors, say for example, Zeekr and Volvo. But anyhow, getting back to this story. A new model, geographic expansion, growing lineup and sales organization changes will definitely drive future growth. Now, Polestar said that, and I agree with what Polestar is saying. A new model, geographic expansion, and a growing lineup and sales organization changes. Those will help. But ultimately, really, I think the marketing leaves a lot to be desired. Anyhow, Polestar have announced they've completed their their staff reductions, resulting in 15% fewer positions, in addition to a 10% reduction in 2023. Polestar says the USA, Sweden, Norway, and Germany were especially strong markets. We have strong momentum as we enter the second half of the year, said Polestar's chief executive, Thomas Ingenlath. Now, he said our 2 new SUVs have received stellar reviews from the global media, and first test drive slots were booked out and additional slots were filling up fast. Our retail sales model shift is accelerating in Europe, and we have strengthened our sales management team. Now, I got a response from Polestar from my last email, guys. I said that Polestar had, basically ignored to be honest, they approached me at a car show and they said, hey, gave me their number, gave me their card. I responded with an email. They actually sent me an email. I responded, and I wanted to test drive a car. Now, they've responded and said to me, we don't have test drive vehicles in Newcastle. Now, Newcastle is actually the 7th biggest city in Australia. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think about that. Thanks for watching.